Hey Jerry, I, 25 female, am in a relationship with a wonderful 26 male man, but I'm struggling with feelings for my ex. Okay, I've been with my current boyfriend for 2 years now, and he's amazing. We get along wonderfully, and he makes me extremely happy. I want to build a future with him, but I still have conflicted feelings for my ex. I was with my ex for 5 years, we broke up 3 years ago, but I know I'm not completely over the relationship. We trauma bonded over a medical issue I had, and he stayed in the hospital by my side for 4 days while I was essentially in a coma. My ex is also a very good person, but things just didn't work out between the two of us, and now we're both in new relationships. I don't necessarily want to be with my ex, and I'm not still in love with him, but I find myself thinking about him a lot and wondering if things were different. Would we have ended up together? I don't want to end my current relationship, and I feel a lot of guilt that I still think about my ex so frequently. I know it's hard to become unattached to someone you've trauma bonded with, and maybe I never will with him, but I want to be completely invested in my current relationship instead of thinking about my ex, but I don't know how. I've blocked him on all social media, but our friends still post about him sometimes, and whenever they do, I become overwhelmed with conflicted feelings again. Can I stay with my current partner and still work towards getting over my ex? Side note, I think my ex still has feelings for me, and that makes it much more difficult.
Wow. I'm 64. When I'm 64, and I too have gone through these feelings in relationships. In some cases, it took a revisit to terminate those feelings and change them. Sometimes we meet someone, we fall in love, and for whatever the reason, the gears work.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the gears, as they work so well in the beginning, something mucks them up. And if there's something there for both of you, but I mean, there are so many different things that are tousled by this.
Yeah.
Why are you? The biggest things. You're with a man, you're having a relationship, it's all good, but why are you still thinking about the other fella? You had some very dramatic shared moments. I mean, I'm fortunate that I've been able to maintain friendships with women that have been in my past. That meant a lot to me.
Yeah.
And they don't get in the way of current relationships. I've had relationships in the past that really conflicted with the relationships I was trying to grow with other people, that I wasn't over them. And in one case, I had to go back, and I literally took a weekend to go back and see what would happen. And I found out once I got there, it was not what I thought. And I didn't end up with either one at the end of the day, because they both were wrong, and then you moved on.
Yeah.
And sometimes that happens. But if you feel that there's something that might be there in that relationship that was Christmas past, and you think he has it, it might be worth a dialogue with him to see if both of you want to think that there's something there and to investigate it. I'm not certainly saying to betray the truth with the person you're with. If you're feeling something, they're recognizing something's going on. Everyone knows when something's amiss.
Mm-hmm.
You can't hide it. You're better off to direct it and be honest about it. And maybe through being honest about it, you guys can form a better relationship and a stronger one with the new relationship, that the other one can be put in its proper place.
Yeah, it's
It's
just
a tough one.
yeah, it's just interesting though how she puts forth very much so that, and she says here very honestly that she does not want to have a future with him. Conflicted with the same, also kind of these feelings of wanting to almost pursue it. It's just very interesting, and it'd be very difficult to be kind of at the crossroads of that.
I think that if she has I don't know what she's saying to the person she's with, but you know, I've learned that, you know, and honesty really does work. It's going to make your relationship stronger and the bond better when you have this truth and honesty with the person you're with now. And if it doesn't work because of that truth and honesty, maybe that's the way to write its way out and solve the problem, or it's going to work to be stronger.
So, are there any other steps that you think would be worth taking besides the blocking on social media and just trying to avoid almost? Is that at all going to work out?
Sometimes that heals it. You know, distance, fate puts it in the past. It doesn't make it present. It's what's healthy for you. I mean, I've had relationships that I love someone very much, and there was a behavior of toxicity, and it was never going to go forward, never going to work. And I just said, it's time for me to leave. Don't call, don't write.
Yeah.
And sometimes that might be the best play. It doesn't mean you don't think about them. It just means that you've moved on with your life, and
Yeah.
and that's sometimes what she may have to do.
And so her ideal outcome is, I just want to be content in my current relationship and heal from my last one and move on completely. And so does that change anything about your thoughts here?
The only thing that I will go back and say, it doesn't change my thought. I really do believe that being honest with the relationship she's currently in will help make that happen. If he's the right guy, he'll be able to deal with this, and they'll build a stronger bond between one another, and the other one will pass. I have a relationship, a friend that I was with 30, you're 27? 30 years ago. And we're good friends today. And when I broke up with her, I thought I would never forget her and never get over her. And today, if she said, Jerry, I'm in love with you and I want you back, I would say, I love you, but it's never going to happen because we've moved on.
Right.
But we're good friends. We certainly care very much for one another as people because we respected each other in our relationship. It just didn't work.
Right.
And when you come up to that reality that we make great friends together, but we know that in the relationship there was a struggle. Something happened that didn't make it work, that we accepted it and we went on, and I became friends with her and her husband, and it just worked out fantastic at the end of the day.
And so you think it's not necessarily out of the realm that 3 years after breaking up, she's still having these feelings?
There is time that it might just take for it all to heal, and it just isn't it yet. But I know that the more that she's honest with the guy that she's with, it's going to help with a lot of this stuff. And she'll have a friend that she can talk about these feelings with, and if he's mature and he's the right guy, it's going to work.
Yeah.
I believe that the more you separate your feelings from that person, it puts up a wall with that person. And it's not going to help the relationship. It's going to help drive that wedge between the relationship.